Beginning, the summoning of a human. The twin suns of Varkana blazed high above the crystalline towers of the royal citadel. Their heat rippled through the air like molten glass, bending light into surreal colors. I had only been on this alien world for 3 days, yet every moment felt like standing in a dream I didn't belong to. My name is Elias Cormer, an engineer from Earth, or rather, a former engineer. Earth's governments had sent me here as part of a peace exchange after the Varkans ended a decade-long Cold War with humanity. I was to act as a symbolic bridge, though I soon learned what that really meant. The Varkans were a proud, ancient race, tall, luminous beings whose skin shimmered faintly, reflecting their mood. Their royal bloodline claimed divine ancestry from the stellar veins, radiant streams of energy that connected their world to the cosmos. I had been invited, or rather ordered, to attend the choosing ceremony, a centuries-old tradition where suitors were offered a selection of royal daughters for alliance marriages. It was meant to unite species, secure peace, and strengthen bonds. But I was no noble. I was just a man with calloused hands and too many regrets. When I arrived in the grand hall, 1,000 alien eyes turned toward me. The hall itself was breathtaking, columns made of translucent crystal, floor mosaics that shimmered with embedded starlight, and air perfumed with metallic sweetness. The alien king, Lord Varelthar, sat on a throne carved from obsidian, his skin glowing faint gold, a sign of calm authority. Around him stood his 7 daughters, each more striking than the next. But among them stood one who seemed different. She stood apart, half in shadow, her luminous tone dimmed to a soft grey-blue, a sign of quiet sorrow. Her robe was plainer, her crown smaller, and the courtiers whispered behind their jeweled hands whenever they looked at her. Her name, I learned later, was Seren, the youngest daughter. And the one the court called the dim one. Middle, the choice no one expected. King Varelthar's voice echoed like thunder softened by silk. "Human Elias Cormer," he said. "Your species seeks friendship. Our customs allow that friendship to be sealed through union. You will choose one among my blood to be your bondmate." I felt my chest tighten. "Your Majesty," I began, "I am honored, but I..." He raised a hand. "No need for false modesty. You will choose." Refusal would dishonor our peace. The 7 daughters stepped forward, their faces luminous with pride, arrogance, or disinterest. The first princess, Lyrian, radiated golden light, perfect, poised, and clearly aware of her own beauty. She smirked at me as if already certain of victory. "You may choose wisely," she said softly, "or forever wonder what you've lost." The second, Talra, exuded strength. Her armor gleamed like liquid silver, and she studied me with the detached curiosity of a scientist examining a lesser specimen. The third and fourth whispered together, giggling in melodic tones that rippled through the hall like chimes. But my gaze kept drifting back to the one in the shadows, Seren. Her eyes met mine for only a moment, and in them, I saw something that the others lacked. Kindness, yes, but also fear, the fear of being seen and judged again. The courtiers' murmurs turned sharp. "He won't pick her. She's dim," her light falters. "She lacks the glow of the stars. She's unworthy of royal bond." The king gestured for me to decide. I stepped forward, my pulse hammering. "I choose," I began, feeling every whisper freeze midair. "The one you all mock." A stunned silence fell. The king's glow dimmed slightly, not from anger, but surprise. "You choose Seren?" "Yes," I said. "I choose her." The crowd erupted, gasps, laughter, outrage. Some thought it was a joke, others a deliberate insult. But Seren, she stared at me as though I had spoken words she'd never believed she'd hear again. Middle Kont. The outcast princess. That night, the palace was restless. Servants whispered as I walked through the hallways. Many avoided me. Others looked at me with pity. I was given a chamber beside Seren's quarters. For hours, I stared at the alien stars through my window, wondering if I'd made a colossal mistake. Then, a soft knock. She entered quietly, her light subdued, almost flickering. "You didn't have to choose me," she said. Her voice was delicate, like the chime of glass struck by wind. "I know," I replied. "But I wanted to." She tilted her head, confused. "Do you even know what they say about me?" "I've heard," I admitted. "That you're not bright enough. That your light falters." She laughed softly, but it was a sad sound. "They're not wrong. My luminescence, my glow, was stunted when I was a child. A result of sickness. On Varkana, brightness is beauty. Strength. I am neither." I looked at her, really looked. Her glow might have been dim, but her eyes held galaxies. "On Earth," I said, "we call that light, humanity." She studied me for a long moment, then smiled faintly, a small, genuine curve of her lips that warmed the cold air around us. That night, for the first time, I felt I belonged. Days turned into weeks. We were bound not by ceremony that would come later, but by shared isolation. She showed me the gardens, where flowers shimmered under moonlight like liquid glass. She taught me about the stellar veins, the living rivers of light that fed the Varkan world. And I told her about Earth, about oceans that tasted of salt, rain that smelled of petrichor, and skies that changed color with every dawn. Sometimes, she would reach out and touch my wrist, tracing the pulse there. "You burn differently," she'd whisper. "Inside you, there is fire, not light. It's beautiful. But peace never lasts long in a royal court." One evening, as I crossed the corridor, I overheard Lyrian's voice, cold and sharp. "He mocks our kind. The human doesn't love her. He chose her to humiliate us." Another voice, Talra's. "Let him try. The dim one will fade soon enough. Her light weakens with every passing cycle." I clenched my fists but said nothing. I couldn't fight their world's cruelty with anger. Instead, I returned to Seren's chamber. She sat by the balcony, staring at the stellar veins. Her glow was faint, almost gone. "They're right," she murmured. "My light is fading. The bond ceremony may kill me. What if we didn't do it?" I asked. She turned to me. "Then peace between our worlds would break. My father would lose face. You'd be exiled, or worse." There was silence between us. Then I took her hand, warm, fragile. "Then I'll find a way to make your light burn again." Climax, the forbidden light. I spent nights in the archives, studying Varkan physiology. Their luminescence wasn't just beauty, it was life itself, powered by symbiotic particles called stellophage, drawn from the energy fields of their world. Seren's illness had severed her connection to it. But humans, I discovered, carried a rare electrical frequency, one that could interact with those same particles. It was reckless, dangerous, possibly fatal. But I had to try. At dawn, I led Seren to the vein of light, a sacred energy conduit that glowed deep in the royal valley. The place pulsed with power, humming through the air like a living heartbeat. She hesitated. "Elias, if my father finds us, he'll thank me when you leave," I said. I stepped into the light. My veins burned. My heart stuttered. But I reached for her hand and pressed it to my chest. The world exploded in radiance.